I work hard to earn my pay, and I saved real big today at All-American Ford.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmie Savino, the Marketing Director for the All-American Auto Group, and this is the All-American Auto Mall and Old Bridge Updates podcast. This is episode number 51, and I brought my brother back on, Nick. He was on episode 49. Last episode was episode 50, so this one's episode 51, and we're going to focus on customizations. So like I always do, we are sharing our screen for the video portion of this on Facebook and YouTube. And then the audio version, if you're clicking on the link from Facebook or YouTube, you could also find and download this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. So let's jump into it, and we'll kind of talk about some customizations in the body shop. And we will show images in the video of some of these customizations as well, so you can get a feel for it. So let's start, Nick, with how you kind of created from our service department a body shop, and we used to have a car wash that kind of converted into a page booth. So kind of talk about how that came about.
Sure. So basically, years ago, we had a drive-through car wash when this was the old Oasis Ford. And essentially, customers would just pull their own vehicles up. It was like an old, I want to say it was almost like wooden, just like a rickety old machine that it dragged the tires. You put the car in neutral. It's disgusting. The cars came out dirtier. We knocked off mirrors constantly.
The antennas would come flying off,
it was just like a disaster. So what we did is we took that, knocked it all down. We put in a paint booth. We are a certified body shop. We do everything body work related other than frame repairs. So we can handle some of the smaller fender benders for the most part, but any kind of major body repair, we send up to our All-American Collision Center up in Hackensack, as they are a full-fledged body shop equipped for that kind of repairs. So essentially, some of the things that we do in a body shop is fixing bumpers and here and there, and we really got big into customizations. And it's one of the things that everybody loves doing because it's fun. You know, when somebody scratches a bumper with a shopping cart, that's not fun. Nobody, it's not fun painting.
It's not fun for anybody.
Yeah, nobody involved.
Yeah.
So, but this kind of stuff is exciting. We really started off kind of slow and doing a lot of the logos, like the F-150 logos in the front on the grill. We would turn around and we would paint that red if the body color was red. We did a lot of the Ford emblems. That's kind of what we love doing now, is the Ford emblems. You know, if it's a silver truck, we silver the whole thing out. Instead of having a blue oval in there, it's all silver, which is pretty cool. And stuff like that. We paint some running boards the same color as vehicles. Then we got into the rims, and the rim stuff is a passion of mine. I love color, so I like having. We'll show some pictures of the blackout rims, and we put a little insert of orange in there, and a little insert of red or something like that. I feel like it makes things pop. It's exciting. They're one of a kind. We don't mass produce any of that stuff. So any of our customizations are not mass produced. They're specifically one vehicle, one way. And then the next time we do something different.
So I know, and we're showing on the screen now, one of our popular packages, opposite of what Nick just said that he likes color, is our Blackout Packages. This is probably our older brother's favorite.
Black is still a color.
So Chris loves Blackout Packages, blacking out everything. It's very popular with customers. We black out, the logo, the rims, darken the taillights, stuff like that. So that's very popular. And then your favorite seems to be kind of the color aspect, which, again, we've shown some pictures, and we always post about it on social media, so you can find the pictures, and they're on our website as well. We have a page all about our recent builds and anything we do. So, the amount of color we could put into these things, we've done yellow and black. And, that was part of our Jimmie Allen truck. So we did 2 trucks for Jimmie Allen. He's a country singer. Did 2 custom lifted trucks. One of them was back in 2018 or 19, I believe. We did that black and yellow Batman edition. That was one of the ones you're talking about, where you could clearly see in the wheels of that, they were Rockstar rims.
Mm-hmm.
I think you took them and you probably painted them black, and then
they were silver. We painted them black, and then the yellow for the Batman.
Yeah, and then the F-150 logo, that's one of my favorite ones. The F-150 and XLT logo, where you painted it black and then you outlined it in the yellow. Mm-hmm. You and your team, of course. You weren't in there doing the painting.
I did
yourself.
not paint them. I don't paint either.
So that's one of my favorite ones where the accent actually comes out. And then for Jimmie Allen, the second one we did for him, if you remember, me and you were both on the call. We were on the call with Jimmie Allen, and he said something like, "I want the entire thing to be gold." And we were like, what are you talking about? I don't know if we could do that. And then he's like, "No, I want a white truck, everything gold." He wanted a white interior, which that was probably the hardest part, where we had to get custom white leather because he actually has white leather seats. And we had gold stitching. And then what I like about that truck is that that was probably the first one, correct me if I'm wrong, that you went crazy with the interior, where you took, it was a black interior, if I remember, and you took so many of those different panels and painted them either white or gold.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just white and gold everywhere on the interior. So talk about that a little, like what's the process? Like, I guess you take off those plastic or fiberglass, whatever they are, those pieces on the inside, because you were doing stuff in the door panel and stuff like that. Like
Crazy.
you did everything. You just take that out, you paint it, and put it back in. Is it as simple as that?
It is pretty that it is that simple, and it's really kind of crazy. It was my favorite truck that we got to do because me and the body shop manager, Pat Reed, who's awesome.
Yep.
Without him, we wouldn't be able to be in this customization game without him. And me and him just open the door and we'd be like, all right, we want that white, that gold, the antenna he made gold, which was so cool. I mean, little touches like that. So we took this interior and we put so many different gold and white pieces. And yeah, it takes him some time. He took apart a lot of things, the window switches. He took it apart out of the door panel, painted them gold, put them back in there. Pieces of the door panel itself, he took apart, painted it white. And it's a little bit time consuming to do that kind of stuff, but like that is a one of a kind of job, and that is something that a lot of our customers don't really realize that we could do. And we could go so far in this customization of painting little pieces here and there, even to make such a cool, fun difference.
Yeah. And I know with we talk about a lot with Chris, our brother, it increases resale value, obviously, because it's considered an upgrade and a customization, and there's no lease penalty as well. So again, it's considered an upgrade or a customization. Now, can people basically get any color they want? So they could give you any color at all, and we could basically color match it and put it anywhere.
All they have to do is give us a sample of the color. We have a computer that essentially, I don't know the technology exactly, you shoot a little gun at it or something, and it goes on the screen and says, all right, this color, mix this, and this.
It's like the same thing when you go into like Lowe's and they put something into like that machine and then it just creates that color of paint.
I like to think of it more like a wizard making potions and like
Pat Reed is the wizard.
It's a wizard. Yeah.
Him and his computer are the wizard.
So I'm going to start calling him the body shop wizard.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Business cards made up. Body shop wizard.
Let's talk about some of the performance upgrades we could do. So I talked about it on this podcast before. Right now, superchargers and stuff like that are kind of back ordered, and Roush and Shelby, we've talked about that. They had trouble getting us their trucks, let alone their parts. So that stuff a little bit behind schedule, I'd say. But basically, we do well with Roush superchargers, Whipple through Shelby and stuff like that. And the Roush cold air intakes, I know a lot of the F-150 Mafia guys have gotten that. So how is that level of stock right now? And what do you think is the most popular one that people go for right now between the performance upgrades?
So the Roush cold air intake seems to be the most popular one because it's the lowest as far as an expense structure, and it gives some horsepower, enough horsepower that you're going to feel it.
You feel the difference.
So, I mean, that's a pretty popular one, but the biggest one that everybody loves is, of course, the supercharger. And it's a big expense, but you're talking about going from a vehicle that is an everyday driving vehicle to you could blow past any of these little punks in a little Honda Civic that's souped up and blow right past those kids.
Yeah, you're basically going from the standard, which is like 300 horsepower to up to 700 for an F-150. So it's pretty intense. Now, the Roush cold air intake, because I got one on one of my Mustang years ago. I think it added 50 horsepower, but between the sound, I don't know, the extra vibration from it and just that 50 horsepower, it did make a pretty big difference. Like you really feel it and you feel like you have something custom. And those cold air intakes, that's not the huge expense. The huge expense obviously is the supercharger. You're talking, thousands of thousands. Cold air intake is,
It's quick. It's just pretty quick, painless to install.
Yeah.
Gives that extra little boost.
And do we have any in stock right now, or are those
We have some in
more
stock
you
for
order?
some engines here and there.
Because
some
it
of the older
depends on the
models.
different engines
It
for
depends.
F-150s, the year,
Every engine's different. Every year is different.
year, make, and model, trim even to a
So
degree.
we have some in stock. We don't have a whole lot. The superchargers, we don't really keep any of that stuff in stock because of the high value. So, we don't want to keep in stock a 2019 Mustang supercharger and then never have a 2019 customer come in. And so also when we order these superchargers, we send them the VIN number, the vehicle identification number of it, so that it goes to either Roush or Whipple, Shelby, whoever we're sending it and getting it from. And then they take that and it's branded with that serial number on it. The tune comes with that information in there from that VIN number, so it's specific for that car.
Specific order. Oh, that's cool. Okay. All right. So the last thing with customization is touch on is wraps now. So we've gotten really into the satin and matte full vehicle wraps. We have two great local vendors that we use. They do ceramic coating. They do, even help us out with some of the blackout packages. We've done, I've talked about a lot on this podcast, the Pete Alonso Mach-E. We've done a few Mach-E's now. We have a purple one right now on our showroom. How many customers come in and ask about that? I mean, it's usually a ton, and so far everybody's been extremely happy with it. One of our vendors has been doing it for decades now. He's extremely popular on Instagram, does it for like celebrities and athletes, and it's just been a great thing so far with these wraps and the ceramic coating. I wish we could actually get into it and open our own here, but
It's a lot of work that goes into
it's
that.
a lot of work.
It's a highly skilled job
Yeah.
to get in every little nook and cranny and making sure that everything is free of bubbles, wrinkles, and put in there. It's a lot of trial and error. Talking to these guys that do it, they don't always go on perfect. So there's a lot of cutting and redoing and making sure that this flattens out and this flattens out and this thing equals.
A lot of quality control with those things, but they come out great. So they've been popular. So, and that we can basically get any color on any vehicle,
Anything,
right?
yeah.
I've never really seen an F-150 with it. That's probably one of the only ones we haven't done. We've done the Explorer, we've done the Mach-E. I don't know if we've done a Mustang yet.
I don't think so. Not with a
Done
full,
the
not with a matte finish.
So that's available, and basically they would go through you, the service department, and then we have a special deal with these
Sure.
vendors. So again, if you're out there looking for customizations, reach out to our service department. Nick and his team, we mentioned Pat Reed. You have a couple service advisors that kind of specialize in customizations and stuff, so they can talk through customers. We go through the full gambit of it, pricing and everything, help you kind of build it. However the customer wants, they pick out the color, they pick out where they want it, stuff like that. And that's kind of how it's done. So if you're out there looking for customizations, reach out. We're here to help. We do stock some. We have our Scarlet Knight Mustang that we did red and black for the Rutgers partnership.
Mhm.
And we usually stock a few of the custom F-150s that we do. Like I mentioned, we did a few of them out there for Jimmie Allen right now. So that's the story with customizations. Thanks for joining again. I'll have you back. We got very good reception from the first time you were on. Obviously, everybody loves when guests are on, and from a service perspective, and now customizations with how popular they are. So thanks for joining, and we'll have you back on.
Are we going to change this to the N and J podcast?
We-
Nick and J.
We can look at different names. I've gone through now 51 weeks of not changing the name, but All American Old Bridge Auto Mall. No, All American Auto Mall and Old Bridge Updates podcast is a mouthful. It's a horrible title. I did it in the beginning for like SEO because, when you're searching for it, you can find it easier, but we will come up with a new title. What did you want it? N and J?
Nick and J, N and J, the N and J show, N and J podcast, NJ, New Jersey. We're in New Jersey.
Oh, that's not
NJ.
bad. Maybe we could play on that a little bit.
NJ All American.
You would have to
podcast.
join every episode though.
I mean, I had a great time the last two. Well, I'm sorry, I wasn't invited for the 50th anniversary.
That was
special.
a quick one I had to get done before because we had the golf outing. We had the Jar of Hope charity golf outing. I forgot to talk about that.
Okay.
I can't believe I forgot to talk about this and brag that I won closest to the pin. So I actually won a $200 putter. That was very exciting.
Yeah, trust me, we haven't. The family hasn't stopped hearing about that.
I can't believe
He texts everybody. His wife was like, "Yay!"
I really needed the putter, so that was great. But that Jar of Hope event was great. That's a good segue to end this. That comes, there's another Jar of Hope outing on September 13th. It's an invitational golf outing, very exclusive, going to be amazing at Bella Vista Country Club. And then the Jar of Hope Gala is at night. Me and Nick will both be there. I am likely going to win either the furthest drive or closest to pin. Those are the two I try and win. I finally won close to the pin.
You forgot to mention I was like an inch away from the straightest drive.
You were.
competition.
That was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. But all right, thanks for joining everybody, and we'll be back next week.